Just that one.
Okay.
All right. Would the clerk please call to order the roll call?
Councilman Boyer,
Here.
Councilman Collier,
Here.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Here.
Councilman Weiner.
Here.
Councilman Dennis,
Here.
Councilman Benz. Whoop. You're the. You're here, right? Councilman Cook.
Here with the request of articles of impeachment to be.
Councilman Tenen.
Here. We have a quorum. Will you please stand for pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All righty. We need to have a approval of the motion for the approval of the agenda. We got with the warrants. $225,628.65. And we also want to add Butch Ross for building codes to talk.
I'll make the motion for a motion to approve the consent agenda with the change to the agenda.
Second.
Do I have all?
Yep, that's a roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Cook, Councilman Tenen.
Yes.
We have it passed. All righty. Remarks from visitors. We start off with Butch or
Shannon and Luke.
Shannon, Becker, Luke,
Patron.
Tatro. You have 5 minutes. Please state your name and your address, and you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Luke Tatro with Tatro's down the street. I know most of you guys up here. I had talked to a few people before about getting a parade going down here. So I'm really just looking to get permission to do a Mardi Gras parade on that Saturday. It would be, we're looking probably around from either 11 or 12 o'clock to maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the day, and really try to, and we really want to focus on getting a lot of the community involved and doing a float contest, that kind of stuff, getting a lot of local businesses involved. And I would like to, know who heads up the Christmas parade, because I just want to do exactly what they do to make it real easy. We just follow their game plan with the first one. If it gets a little bigger or whatever else, we'll go from there.
That's the Twin City Chamber of Commerce does a Christmas parade, right?
Mhm.
And so,
The Twin City Chamber of Commerce
Yes.
heads that up. Is there really, I just wanted to get a game plan from them for it, because I want to, follow it to the T, because I think they do a great job with it either way. So I would just find out, a couple people on there that could.
Question, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah.
What dates are you wanting to do this?
This one would be
February
February
10th.
Yes.
It's a Saturday.
Any both chiefs, thumbs up? Any issues?
What would be the route you're talking about, Luke?
Same as Christmas parade down the Main Street, Festus Main Street. I know I have to talk to Crystal City as well.
I was just about to say, you'd have,
Because
yeah.
part of it goes that way. But yeah, we got a lot of ideas. This is Shannon Becker. She's plays in a local band and does hair, all kinds of stuff. She's going to be kind of heading the planning for the parade up, and we'll be helping her over there. I know I got a lot of other people that want to get involved too, but more than anything, we want to get the schools involved, the local businesses involved, and some of the local play shops, dance studios, that kind of stuff, and then the car clubs.
So would it be in the evening then, I'm assuming?
No, it'd be in the morning.
Morning?
It would be from around either 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. somewhere around there. Or 12. Yeah, 12.
Do you have a cold weather plan?
Oh, it's gonna be cold. No
Well,
doubt about it.
That kind of relates
That-
back
yeah.
to your car.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if
Your cars and your children.
well, if for some reason, I mean, I know that's kind of, it was a little crazy at first. I was thinking we could go from Tetros, and then I was like, ooh, that'd be sledding down a big hill there. You know, I talked to Barb a little bit about it, and she knocked some sense into me on that one. Yeah, it would be probably the same snow plan. That's why I want to talk to the Christmas parade and go exactly, go do it exactly like they do it, just with probably some different, more colorful floats and stuff like that.
Family friendly.
Yeah, I want it to be, to be a family friendly Mardi Gras parade for sure. But this year for Mardi Gras, I want to do a package thing so we can really start getting some of our hotels filled up out here as well. So we'll be doing something both Friday and Saturday. And I want to kind of move into that. And this parade would be a big part of that. Just the appeal to get, some people. We already get a ton of people from outside Festus, outside Crystal City, at our Mardi Gras every year. So this is just going to increase that, at least for that weekend, to really bring drive some revenue out here. Not only that, but fill our hotels up. And then as far as the parade's concerned, get the community involved. So we'd be kind of showing off in front of all these people coming from outside sources. Yeah.
Transportation shuttles.
Yeah.
I guess that far out, and plus, now that's during the day, during the business hours of Main Street, because a lot of them stay
Yeah, no,
open.
that was probably the only.
So how do we
concern I
go
had.
about
And
getting
I know
that?
they do. I mean, they do they got a festival. They're closing down the street all day next month.
Right, but I mean, we just,
So this would just be for a couple hours.
Does this sound like a good idea? Let's get Tanglefoot Association involved and get approval from them, and then have them come back and discuss it more with the council. So
I can
city
talk to them,
administration
too.
can look into this a little more.
yeah, because it's that
I-
far out.
yeah.
We do need to make sure everyone's on board. I'm sure they're going to be on board, but
Yeah,
that
talk to
we
the
just got to
businesses
make
down
sure
the
that all the
street.
business owners.
That was really my only concern, but I know, with what else is going on down there, this would be less than any of these other events that we're doing down there.
Right, and like I said, I probably no problem, but we just
Yeah.
have to do our homework on that
And
first.
I can hit them up too. I used to be on I think my name's still in the docket. I haven't been showing up too much lately. But
Okay.
I can kind of get on them. The reason we want to get this going so early is because I want to get the word out so people have time to build floats. People that
Okay.
want to get involved in this, we're going to need time for them to really have some fun with the building whatever floats they want to do.
Okay, well, your 5 minutes is up, but yes, they will get back with you on that because
Okay.
there's some things we want to make sure before we just give our
Yeah,
blessing. And
no problem. I can leave my contact here too.
yes,
Both
yeah,
of
you
our contacts.
you can turn that into the city clerk. And
Carrie.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right,
you.
thank you.
Jeff Arp with Myrma.
Yeah, my name's Jeff Arp. I'm from Columbia, Missouri. At least that's where Murma's located in. I'm one of the loss control consultants with Murma. Murma's a self-insurance pool that the city's been a member of, and I looked it up today because I was curious. You have any idea how long they've been a member?
Since the beginning.
Right. Close. Close. The year I graduated, 1982. Been around for a few days. Not only do we process and handle your claims, we spend a lot of money, time, and effort promoting the best practices of risk management. We do that every month through our newsletter, seminars, our annual meeting, multiple on-site visits. That list goes on and on and on. Being a member, you're also eligible to take advantage of our multiple reimbursement programs. And one program in particular, and the reason why I'm here tonight, is our risk grant program. It was put together several years ago to help offset the cost of equipment you guys identified a need for that also fits within the Murma mission statement. This past year, we received an application from the Public Works Department, I believe Street Department in particular, to help fund a flammable storage cabinet. The committee met last week and approved that application for $750. I'm here tonight to present this plaque because that's all I got tonight. We don't have a check here tonight, but it is a reimbursement program, so you got to buy the item first. But this is a nice little IOU with some important signatures. I will be mindful to tell you that there is an expiration date on this thing. June 30th of next year is when you gotta have this thing bought. So I'd like to thank, I believe it was Shane who wrote that up, for writing the application. I'm getting this money up here for this cabinet. This program's available to all the departments. So hopefully this will get the word back out again and I can make a reoccurring visit here this time next year. So with that, I'll leave you guys back to your meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Adam Feeser with traffic control. Adam, you have state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is Adam Alexander Fazer and I live at 733 Woodland Avenue, Festus, Missouri, 63028. And what I'm making a complaint about, we had too many speeders along these busy streets and we need to make all two-way stop signs, all 4 ways up and down Central Avenue because people are just using Central Avenue as racetracks. And they need one over there on 3rd Street in Cromwell because that one needs a stop sign because there are too many kids that crosses over that street and someone's gonna end up getting hurt or killed at one of these intersections that do not have a 4-way stop. And we need one at Ridge and Central Mill Street. And all up and down Central Avenue. And the one over there on a 7th and Mill Street, they need one there too. Because it is such a dangerous hazard in Ridge Avenue, that train crossing over to Russell, that needs to be a stop too, because it's just too busy for cars to be with pedestrians because someone's going to end up getting killed at one of these intersections, and I'd hate to see that. And I don't know what you guys' plans are doing about this, but we are just sick and tired of speeders up and down the streets like no tomorrow and all night long and all 24/7 a day. And we are just sick of it. And I've called the Festus police about putting speed traps out there. We haven't seen none. And it's just time for a change, like let's say put in signal lights or something like Grants Trail has, you push a button and cross over or something. That's what they need to do up and down Central Avenue. Because I ride up on Grants Trail all the time and I think that's the safest trail because they had those crosswalks. You push a button, it stops the traffic and they let pedestrians cross over. And I think that's exactly what we need more around in Festus. So what do you guys think?
Well, we'll take all that into consideration, Adam. And I mean, we got the police working on all the streets. We do realize there's a lot of fast speeders in town. And I mean, they can't be everywhere. They do their best. And, but we are working, you just can't put stop signs everywhere. Can't put traffic, but they are doing their best. And
But the one we need one is at Central and Ridge Avenue. And maybe like every 2 streets down on Central Avenue, like on Huber Street or Virginia.
well, like I said, we'll take that in consideration and we'll talk to chief and see what we can
Alrighty.
do about it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Butcher Ross, building codes. Please state your name, your address,
Name is
and you have
Butch
5
Ross.
minutes, sir.
I live at 801 Ridge. I've been going back and forth with Mark with the Public Works and about a property over at 730 Warren Street. I do have some pictures. I've only got one copy because I'm not really that technologically adept. I'm a plumber. I'm not a computer guy. And y'all can look at them. I think part of the issue that they've had with this has been the terminology of what this lady's been dealing with her insurance company is the demand letter, which is that's the wrong way to word it. Normally when a house or a structure is more than 60% gutted, it's considered a total rehab or gut rehab. And then you would bring that structure up to current code. As evident in those pictures, there's more than 60% of that structure that's been gutted. And it's nowhere near up to code. And that's the whole thing that it's not so much a demand as it is like every other jurisdiction. If you're at a certain amount, then you're required to bring it up to code. It's not a demand letter. It's just a requirement that basically every other jurisdiction has. And I think that's part of where the lack is how the terminology of it has been said. It's like I said, as evident in the pictures. And I actually met with one of the city inspectors over there, and we were looking over everything, and he said, this plumbing needs to be brought up to code as well as the electric. And I pointed out to him, part of the plumbing system over there is actually in good shape. As far as cast iron pipe, for the age of it, there's nothing wrong with it. Other parts of it, and then where other people have made repairs, is just totally asinine how they did it. And the entire reason that this whole thing happened over there is because there was what's called a drum trap that was actually put in backwards years ago, and it was above a ceiling, so nobody knew it. On those type of fixtures, you can never run a cable through it to clear them. And maybe some of the way I'm phrasing it is Greek to some people. I'm trying to do it in layman's terms. So like I said, I think part of the discord here is the way the things were phrased, the terminology that was used. Yes, sir.
I guess I'm not really following you 100% because I was looking at the pictures.
Oh,
But so you're wanting to bring it up to code, or you don't think it all needs to be brought up to code?
There's part of it there. Part of that plumbing system is totally fine. Other parts of it definitely need to be replaced. And to bring it up to current code. And the code actually in the city of Festus is a lot more lax than what other codes are in the area. I think something got brought up about updating the code at one time.
So you're wanting to leave the basic, maybe the standpipe and cast iron, and then come off that with a Fernco, make plastic connections? Is that kind of what you want to do?
I would never use a Fernco inside the footprint of a building.
Okay.
You always use a mission band.
But
if right.
But that's what you kind of want to do.
Right. There's part of the cast iron that's actually still up above that's in decent shape.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. And the venting, that's cast iron. There's nothing wrong with that. But where somebody had made some repairs before, they hacked it. They put Ferncos on it. They actually ran a 3-inch laundry over the top of electric. Laundry drain over the top of electric.
No, it looks like you got a lot of hacking going on there.
Oh,
over the years.
it's and I like that house was built before a lot of codes were actually instituted and enforced. And the lady's been out of her house for almost, this November will be a year.
Greg or Mark, I don't understand. I mean, if somebody wants to bring a house up to code.
We've talked about, and I've had a chance to talk to Butch, and if you recall, the resident that owns 730 Warren had come and spoke to us previously. There seems to be, and he used, I think, a good word, which was disconnect. What the code requires, yes, is what is required by code. I think the difference being here that that some of that work may fall out of the scope of what an insurer is willing to pay. And that's the original request when it originally came in, when she originally came and spoke to us in relation to a demand letter, which was a statement they were asking for that came from the city stating that the insurance company, and if I'm wrong here, Butch, let me know, but it basically where the insurance company said, hey, look, this is the scope of everything that needs to be brought up to code and therefore needs to be considered as part of the claim. And that's something we just don't do. I wouldn't want to characterize the discussion that's taken place between the insurance company and the property owner. I haven't been privy to any of that, but yeah.
Okay.
So, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Mike, but so you're working on the house.
I pulled a permit on it because I couldn't get an inspector over there to look at anything without pulling a permit on it. I haven't done any work over there. Part of what was hacked out over there was actually done by the quote unquote restoration company. A lot of the other stuff over there was stuff that repairs that had been made by the previous owner. What actually caused the whole thing to start was the drum trap that overflowed, and the water came through and came all down through the ceiling, through the walls, caved the ceiling in and everything.
I guess I know the story a little bit, but I'm still a little confused because it's like.
And
we've talked about, and Brian and I probably need to revisit this.
Are we
to-
involved in something?
No, I think where we have is there's a, again, I'll use your word, a disconnect between damages that have been assessed and what the code requires and the amount of work that needs to be done to make that all happen. But again, again, without having a chance to sit down and visit again with Brian about this, to be able to say that the city would be in a position to say to the insurance company that this needs to be paid for. That's just typical. We just don't do that. Yeah.
well, and nobody's asking for the city to say the insurance company needs to pay for this.
Mhm.
It's just whatever you get to.
An opinion or an analysis of what to go to code
Yeah.
would have to be done. Is that what you're looking for? You're looking for something that says by Festus ordinance, this is what would have to be done because of the amount of damage that was seen or
Right.
how much of the house is exposed is what you're
Correct,
looking for.
because how much of the house has been gutted due to this?
So not a demand letter from the city that says you have to do this, but
Correct.
bring this house to current code or to be inhabitable.
We can
X would have to be
visit
done.
that, Brian, if,
Sure, yeah, I'll just add, and I don't have the plumbing code in front of me, but I think at the end of the day, the code says what it says, and our employees are going to interpret that. And they're going to make a determination about what the code requires. We can't really change it on a case by case basis.
No, and
It may be that the homeowner, the contractor disagrees with the city's interpretation. They may have some ability to dispute that. That'd be usually set forth in the plumbing code or other portions of the city's ordinances. But at the bottom, the big picture is we can't change what the code requires on a case by case basis. We're going to have to assess the facts and make some probably difficult determinations, but the determinations are going to be what they are.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if-
nobody's expected, nobody's wanting to circumvent anything. But
So you just basically need a letter that says to complete this project, it has to be brought up to the city code.
Right, because the structure has been gutted to a certain percentage.
So you
Yeah.
just need a letter that says the repairs made to this property is determined by what the code is at the city of Festus, and we need to say, yes, that's true, or no, it isn't. So it's not demanding anything, not asking to sidestep anything, just that the repairs that need to be made have to be made to the city code.
Hey, Dennis, I really think we need to let Greg and Brian and Mark do this because I got a million questions that popped up in my head right now. We can go all night about this. This isn't a simple,
No.
quick answer. I promise you. Hypothetical, I can tear out more than what the insurance company even says. And next thing you know, we're involved in something that as a city, we just go by code and what code says. My opinion is you should handle it with Mark and our city attorney and advise that way we can tell everybody code's code, we follow it to a T.
Understood.
And that's what I was actually wanting to do was sit down with Greg, Mark and the inspectors. And okay, what exactly is required by code? You know, how do you guys interpret this on percentage of what has been taken out as far as, you know, your gut rehab? Because then you fall into a lot of different areas.
All right, well, Greg and
Mark and Brian.
Brian can get with you then, because it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of work to be, dealt out with, so.
And I wasn't trying to get anybody.
Oh, exactly.
stirred up. I'm just.
No,
you
you're
know,
fine. I
there-
mean, and everyone
there
has,
questions that, you know,
yep,
that can have a lot of repercussions from a lot of different things.
okay. Well,
And just
Butch,
everybody on the same page.
they'll get with you then, all right, sir?
All right.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. All right, moving on, we have some bids. Please, purchase of 8 new Dodge Durangos.
Thank you, council. So we finally found some vehicles. The police department is requesting a purchase of 8 new Dodge Durangos. These are being purchased off state bid pricing from Landmark Dodge in Independence, Missouri. The vehicles have already been manufactured and are just waiting delivery. They are expecting all of them to be delivered within the next 30 days. Pricing for the vehicles are $42,298 each, for a total of $338,384. We have carried over money from the last year's budget and have adequate money requested in the upcoming budget pending tonight's approval to cover the cost of the vehicles. And the money will come from public safety tax.
Staff report.
That's it.
That's it there.
That's
So,
it. Captain, is the cars RSO going bye-bye? Because them things are horrible.
Yes, those will be going.
Okay, perfect.
Captain, I seen today, it's kind of coincidental. There's a recall on a lot of vehicles and Dodge Durangos was one of them.
Do you know what the recalls are for?
Yeah, I have it out in my pickup truck. I forgot to bring it in, but something about I think they come out of park or something. And I have it out there, but I don't, whether it's this one or not, I don't know, but it did say new 23 Durangos and Doug Cheap was telling me about it.
These are 24s.
Yeah. These are,
I thought he told me it was 23.
no, they're 23 Dodge Durangos.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll make sure the dealer
So-
checks any recalls before we take delivery.
Yeah, I printed this off just
And
because
and the recall should be covered under the warranty, obviously.
Right,
I haven't yet, so I'm sure it'll be
it was
fine.
just coincidental when I saw that today on the internet. I was like, whoa, we're getting those, because I remembered Doug was telling me about that and I just happened to see that. I was like, man.
Yeah.
But
And these are also under the pricing that we had budgeted for the Explorers as well. So we're going to save a little bit of money on these compared to what we were expecting to spend by about 7,000 a vehicle.
okay. That's what I asked you that. So
I have support.
support the issue.
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Roll call. Spending money. Yep.
Councilman Cook,
Yep.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen.
Yep.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Bill passes by your Durango, sir.
Thank you.
All right, ordinance and resolutions. We have Bill number 4744 on the agenda. Will the clerk please read bill for the first time?
Bill number 4744, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, amending the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget and establishing an effective date.
It is now open for discussion. Staff report, please.
So in your packet, you'll have all of the information on the budget amendment. Does anybody have any specific questions?
Since this is your last council meeting, would you be so kind as to read the budget again to us, please? Item by item.
You're funny.
Item by.
It's
item,
just
please.
53 pages.
You're funny. Any other questions?
If there are no other questions, then I like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules
And read bill 4744.
for a second time by title.
only.
Second.
All them in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Will the hearing now? Will the mayor or the city clerk please read bill 4744 second time?
Bill number 4744, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, amending the 2022-2023 fiscal year budget and establishing an effective date. Councilman Tenen.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Bill 4744 has passed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now we have bill number 4745 on the agenda. Will the city clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4745, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, and ending September 30, 2024.
All right, staff report, please.
So I just want to say, I hope that Jim Berger and Charlotte Pippin are watching tonight. The changes that were made from last meeting are the pickleball court repair, 500,000 from the airport fund, splash pad / playground, 1.5 million from the general fund. And then we also added 700,000 for focus on Edgewood and all of the affected areas for the water. But that is after the master plan is completed. Those are the main things that were changed from your discussions at the work session. And I tried to highlight everything in blue, Councilman Weiner, on the capital planning sheet. Or yellow. So does anybody have any other questions?
Just a real quick comment. Stephanie, thank you for everything that you've done. On the pickleball court repairs, could we rename that pickleball court complex renovation?
Certainly.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it does. All right, any other discussions? All righty. Are there any members that want this bill to be carried over to the next meeting? Yeah, no doubt. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read bill 4745 for the second time in title only?
So move.
Second.
Will the city clerk read? Bill, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Now will the city clerk read bill 4745 for the second time in title only?
Bill number 4745, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, and ending September 30, 2024. Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Tenen. Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
4745 has passed.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, let's see here. We have new business. Kevin Pope, Festus High School Homecoming Parade.
Kevin couldn't be here tonight, but this is the annual homecoming parade. This, of course, has been checked out by the PD and the fire department. This would be following the traditional route which starts on West Wind and ends up on Main Street to Briarton. We need council approval to allow the school to have the homecoming parade.
All those in favor say aye.
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 There has to be a motion.
Mhm.
Make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Now, all those say, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those who say nay, none. Motion passes. Now, the second thing we have here is move the October 9th meeting to October 10th. Because it's a holiday, Columbus Day. So that'd be on a Tuesday night.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No nays? Motion passes. All right, any old business? Sir?
No, sir.
Mayor, City Council reports. All right, Councilman Boyer.
No, I don't have anything, sorry.
Righty. Councilman Weiner.
Nothing in particular. Glad we got the budget passed. Stephanie, thanks for everything you've done here. Appreciate all your hard work.
Councilman Dennis.
I'm glad I nominated you now. You did a pretty good job tonight, Bobby. Yeah, Stephanie, we're gonna miss you. You're a great part of this team and you're gonna be hard to replace. There's big shoes to fill. So thank you. Thank you for your dedication. This is one of the easiest and best budgets I've ever worked on. I just want to reiterate that we are working on that new collector well up there at the water plant. And it's coming along very well. And that should be able to produce enough water to where we don't have to go on the well water. And I know that they're working hard to work on these water problems. So we do care and we are working on trying to get these resolved. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Cook.
Got a few things. Saturday, we had a Boy Scout pack come out 405 for a stream team. We called it an aquatic event. It was like a hands-on. We had 65 students, Boy Scouts, 45 adults. Officer Limpert, if I'm pronouncing his name right, did an excellent job. Excellent job. I would have went nuts time was all said and done. I think every Boy Scout touched the car, played with the siren, played with the horn, everything. B ship was there with the new fire truck. Kids got a kick out of it. So I just want to tell both B crew and to the officer and the captain, it was greatly appreciated. The kids had a great time and I got several messages. I believe there'll be some letters from the Boy Scouts themselves being written to the city. So I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for that. And thanks Barb for reminding me there is electric out there and we were out by 12:30. So nobody was mad. Stephanie, I'm not happy you're leaving at all. So I wish you the best of luck. I know you live in the city. I hope you'll stay active. Now, since you're leaving, I'll work on my air conditioned bathrooms again. So that's next budget year for whoever's replacing or trying to fill your shoes. Greg and Brian, this would be a question for you and Captain Pippin, please. What is vagrancy laws no more? I mean, can we not enforce that anymore? The homeless population, and look, I'm sympathetic, but I'm also getting a lot of feedback on this and people are tired. If we pass a ordinance in the city, no more donations, no more collections at all of our city streets, can that stop the begging?
I mean, people can be on the sidewalk and they can be expressing themselves. And so it makes it very difficult to say someone can't be asking for money. You're getting into an area, I think, that's going to run into the First Amendment. It's something that every city to one degree or another is trying to figure out what the parameters are, what they can and can't do.
So come down to my level.
Solicitation
No, I understand.
is protected. It's a protected form of speech.
I can respect that, but we've got to be able to do something. I don't buy the fact there's nothing we can't do. St. Louis County has passed in some new ordinances and some cities up there have, and it's working. And I know there's a group of attorneys that they specialize in dealing with the homeless. I've looked them up, but I mean, they're going in people's yards, they're in backyards. They don't care. They don't have to care. They know there's very little we can do to them. We got a problem. And I know Councilman Boyer brought it up, and I was trying to be as sympathetic as possible, but man, I'm telling you right now, the last 2 weeks has been unbearable. And I have no good responses for our citizens. None.
Well, if they're on private property, they're trespassing. So, I mean, that's something that is enforceable. It requires the homeowner to take action.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, Captain, what we cite them and they don't show up to court. That's really what the current legal system is though. Is that right?
That's correct.
So that's what I'm saying. We're in a vicious cycle. There's got to be more we can do.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I mean, if they don't show to court, typically they'll have to do it depending on whether they were given a citation or summoned by the court. If they don't come to court on either the first or second time, the court can issue an arrest warrant, and then the next time the police encounter them, they can execute that warrant. As far as being on public property, there are cities that have enacted ordinances that, for instance, say you cannot walk on the roadway except in the designated crosswalks. You cannot obstruct the sidewalks. And there are some court decisions supporting the ability of cities to do that. But it's kind of it's going to be an ongoing legal fight throughout the courts, probably for the foreseeable future. But there is some things you can do.
So is it your recommendation still just to sit back so we don't make case law?
Well,
Or
no,
are you
no,
comfortable as our attorney
What-
start looking into things?
Sure. No, and I've looked into this many times for other cities, and what you guys decide to move forward with is I can certainly prepare a more detailed analysis, and I believe I have provided similar analyses to Chief Lewis when he was here and to Greg. I'm happy to dig that back up if you'd like me to take a further look at this and can give you some guidance on what the council can do.
My only concern, Mike, is that using, certainly there have been some new approaches to this in the last year and a half in St. Louis County, where, and I have some experience with this, is that it comes from a pedestrian traffic safety perspective, which basically says that people standing in the road is unsafe and therefore should be illegal. But to get to that point, you have to have a lot of supporting documentation. I know down south where I worked years ago, we commissioned a traffic study that was basically for the whole town, that stated that there were just no good places for people to stand in the middle of the road, which seems like common sense, but it obviously is something that was being challenged at the time, and went all the way to the 8th District Appellate Court, for crying out loud. So there's been some new law of late that would stand on that leg, at least, which is that from a traffic pedestrian safety standpoint, you can be on the sidewalk, you can be on a median island of some sort, but as soon as you step off into the road, you're putting yourself and the motoring public at risk as well. So we can certainly revisit this and see if there isn't something we can do that's maybe a little stronger than what we have, but it certainly is something that if we dip a toe into it, we know that those laws that not St. Charles, but St. Louis County recently passed, it's just a matter of time before they're challenged. So,
Yeah, I definitely don't want to make case law, but if council agrees, because I like to get a head nod, I think we ought to look at something. I really do. I think we're at a point we need to do something, because that's probably the number one complaint, well, besides water quality, is that. And there's a couple of individuals who get very aggressive there on Highway A. And if we can look into that, and if they step off the road, and that should be a safety concern, that should be something we can do. So what I'm asking is, I don't beat a dead horse here, is if the council is in agreement, I would like to look at something and have Brian start looking at something for us, if you guys all agree.
I think we should. I'm like, it's overdue.
I mean, I'm just one, but I just popped in my head. And then I've got a few requests if we can revisit the Jake break ordinance and if we can get that on a discussion, I'd appreciate it. And I know you're for it. And I know Councilman Colliers brought it up and I'm for it too. And then I did get a request from an individual in Edgewood. And I don't know what to do on this one, so I need guidance, or you can even get back with me with Brian. They're wanting to know if the city will cover lab testing for water quality, because the health department doesn't test for some heavy metals, which I do know, but I don't know what to do. So let me throw that out there and let's discuss it and get back
And just to address it quickly is that we have pulled additional samples. Some of the residents over there have been very cooperative. They've allowed us, we've had access to either inside sinks or outside spigots. We pulled additional samples and everything comes back clean. Okay, so as from a bacteria, from heavy metals or whatever else you want to say, whether or not they have lead or copper in them, the water's testing fine. Again, it's unattractive. It's not something any of us want to drink. We do have water available now, drinking water available now at Public Works as council had requested. Notice is going out in the next billing cycle to make everyone aware of that, also to make them aware of a water credit. Crews were working today on locate, saw cutting, and hydrant flushing. So we're working and we're trying to work with the residents at the same time because we know it's a difficult situation.
Okay, that's a very good update and I appreciate that. In the monthly letter, can we mention that we are doing additional testing just so we can alleviate some concerns? And
Those were received today. So the bills have been mailed and they were received today. So
We can certainly
have
put
that
something out on our social media platforms though.
Yeah.
Okay.
and or yeah, something's better than nothing. I like to be proactive on that. And then Mayor Pro Tem, I apologize. I took a little longer than anticipated. So thank you, sir. That's all I have.
A lot on your mind. Thank you, sir. Councilman Collier.
I'd just like to say that I think it's a good idea that we put in the budget for the extra 700,000 to take care of the water issues. And I'm glad that we're getting on it immediately right away to address it. And Stephanie, thank you for all your hard work for the city, and we're going to miss you. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Templeton.
Well, just to reiterate, you shouldn't leave. So we'll cut to the chase. It's nice to have an ally when it comes to the math that you do on a daily basis. As a numbers person, I truly appreciate that, but wish you all the best. And I hope to see you around town just as a citizen. All right. So absolutely. A couple other things with Edgewood, since we have missed the mailing of the water bills, given the size of that area and the gravity of the situation, can we just do an old fashioned mailing to those specific people that are in those neighborhoods?
We pulled those bills specifically to put the insert in to make them aware of everything that's going on,
Okay.
the steps the city's taken, and the availability of the drinking water. But if we need to do another mailing that either emphasizes that or makes clear that the water is safe, we can do that as well.
I mean, I think just something routine, more consistent, or every few weeks, every once a month, something that is giving them a hands-on, because you can't expect everybody to have the internet. I mean, we all think that everybody does, but they truly do not. So, and that's, it's just goodwill at this point for it. To say that the city is very much popular with the pickleball community would be an understatement. I played last Tuesday and that's all anybody can talk about. So good choice. And obviously we know that Captain Pippin's daughter is over the moon about the playground. So I'm excited for that to move forward. It's nice to see us with the city that's growing, that we are bringing things that will appeal to so many people, as well as people from outside of our community, to bring them in for something like that. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Councilwoman Templeton. Councilman Tennant.
Stephanie, it's been really good working for you, and I'm gonna make you cry, I think. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll make myself cry. But you know, you've been real easy to work with and, you know, just top notch and, congratulations on your new endeavor and wish you all luck. And I don't think I have anything else. So,
Thank you, sir. I know they usually don't ask, but Parks Department or anything you need to say or add? Barb?
For the record, they have very detailed reports in your packet, so.
Well, yeah, I know. I just want to make sure the acting fire chief, anything? Acting police? Okay, just want to make sure in case you guys had anything. Stephanie, I've known your dad for over 35 years and he was really happy when you got the job. And I was really glad to see you got it. And I mean, I know we haven't seen each other much because, you know, I'm not here that much, but we'll miss you and appreciate all you have done. And I know everybody else the same way. And as far as that goes, anything else we need to?
Not sure.
Okay, so. Like to make motion to possibly adjourn. So move. Second.
Second.
Nobody wants to leave, Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is concluded. Thank you.